Our value is amazing. We give you color choices on this as well. So we have it available for you in 3 different colors, and I'll let Kevin take it away.
Out of the last 60 years, in my opinion, this is the #1 best thing to ever come out of the garden world, because it took a gentleman 20 years of his life and 20,000 attempts in 1948 to develop the very first hybrid cross between a garden peony and a 1,000-year-old Chinese tree peony, something never been done before. And it took another 40 years to reach the marketplace when they were going for about $1,000 a plant, because ornamentally their value was so high and the supply so limited. You know, the good news today is they're not $1,000, but the supply is still limited. We're not going to be able to bring any of these back in any way, shape, or form next year. Our fields have got to grow back. Ornamentally, these blow away any peony you've ever heard of in your wildest dreams. I'd recommend getting 1 of each color, because you'll have, in my opinion, the best thing to come out of the garden world in the last 60 years.
Well, that's huge.
It's phenomenal.
When I think about all the cool plants and flowers you've brought to QVC,
nothing
for you to say, like,
you
know, in the last 60 years, this is the one that rocks it.
It does.
To me, that's worth the splurge, right?
Yep.
So you have 3 different varieties to choose from, and maybe we can just run those stills one more time, guys, because we were kind of talking about it. But tell me about each of these colors that are coming up, Kevin.
Scarlet Heaven's a brand new one. All of these have 7 to 8 inch fluffy multi-petaled flowers that are fragrant, all of them. So not all peonies have that.
Yes.
This peony will bloom for 4 weeks, not 2 weeks. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now the stems, by the way, are long, make a great cut flower, you know, like a garden peony, but they don't flop over like a garden peony. They stay strong.
Straight, nice.
Never need to stake them.
Love
Big time, right?
Yep.
The foliage clean all year long. No heat and humidity, no powdery mildew. They're tolerant of all that, and so they do well in the summer all the time. In Florida, I can't grow peonies, can I? You can these. They go to zone 9 all the way to zone 4, where it's 15, 20 below zero. That's a big deal in the peony world. And they're not grafted. So when you see peony roots coming up around the bush underneath, it's the real deal.
Yeah.
So here you have a peony in these really rare colors.
Yeah.
Have you seen yellow tree peonies or any peonies before? Not unless you get them here at Roberta's. This one, the coral one,
coral is
it's like
gorgeous.
a plumeria fragrance.
Beautiful.
And the scarlet red, man, it's hot. So you get out of the box quite the nice
let me show you. This is what we're shipping you, everybody. So I think this is important for you to see too, because let's face it, for one plant, this one is a little bit more expensive.
Yeah,
but
it's
again,
worth it.
you're getting something really unusual, really, really different. Not what you're going to find in most of your garden centers. You're getting it from our friends at Roberta's, who've been doing this on QVC for over 20 years. So, I mean, you're getting it from a trusted source. I think that's important.
These will bloom this year.
If you love peonies, I mean, how great to put this in the ground. I mean, it's already there, and you're going to have blooms this year. You're going to have the big, fluffy blooms. When you're talking about the ornamental value, that's the amount of blooms, the color, the size of the flowers, the characteristics of the flower.
The type of, the length of bloom. You get 4 weeks instead of just 2 weeks.
Great.
This, Jill, is what you will have in this season. And you can see the buds on the plant. You can see the buds. They're all ready. Look at these guys. They're budded. They're blooming.
Coming.
So you're going to get
ready.
flowers this year, guys. You don't need to wait. We've done the waiting for you. And again, this one we won't be able to bring back because the supply is so limited around the world. One grower in Holland pretty much has been doing these for the last 20 years.
Wow.
And we just have to wait to get more.
What
They're not
about
ready.
Full sun, partial sun, all those kinds
like
of things?
fold apart sun.
Okay.
And again, they're totally resistant to the heat and humidity that plague all the garden peonies. Get all yucky looking in the summertime.
Yes.
It's like you don't want to look at the foliage. This is clean. It gets really bronze red in the fall. No powdery mildew, no ants. The stems don't flop over, but they're long enough. They're big, long ones to cut.
Yeah.
So the tree peony has great thick stems, but they're teeny. You can't cut them. The garden peony has the long stems, but you have to cut them because they flop over. These are flop-free, and it's just wonderful. Long stems to cut.
Well, peonies are always, I know, a favorite for so many of you. They're one of my favorites too. I've purchased different varieties of peonies from Roberta's in the past. I mean, these are, look at the stem.
So you can see, flop it. You're going to flop that. That thing's pretty darn good. Look how heavy that fly. That is a beautiful peony flower. That is what
right
you
there.
get.
And look at the size of it. It's as big as my face.
Sweet fragrance, guys. So,
yeah, it is really fragrant.
Do you know the guy, Mr. Itoh, took 20 years and 20,000 attempts to make the very first cross? The poor guy, like an artist, he died in 1956, so he never saw the fruits of his work. The first ones didn't really start to bloom until the 60s, and people said, this is really a big deal. It took another 25 or 30 years before they came out to the marketplace.
Right.
And again, $1,000 a plant. You know, get on a
Who
waiting
can get
list.
that, right?
Nobody.
Like, who's
so
going to do that?
You get one of each. That was about a 2-year-old plant. Garden Treasure, a yellow peony, long stems, fluffy, fragrant gel, and they bloom for 4 weeks, not 2 like a garden or a tree. You get twice the length. That smells like a Hawaiian plumeria, and I know you know
that's the one that's
that.
kind of the peach color, that old rose dandy.
So it's
Beautiful.
really rare colors. I love this plant. The breeders, like, you know, an artist that dies and all his, you know, never sees the great works that, you know, and that's what this is to me. This is that kind of plant that is one of a kind.
Well, stay on the line if you're dialing in. Fragrant, fluffy, beautiful big blooms, great color options. We have what we have for the season, and then you probably won't see it for several seasons beyond this one. So stay on the line if you're dialing in. Use that easy pay. Over 800 of those have been ordered, and remember that price is delivered. Also, don't forget about our hot pick, our 10-piece select 300 series flower power daylilies. Close to 3,000 of those ordered in this show. M46342 is your item number. That's 30.